What's up, everybody? Ben Rez here for Odd Shopper. I'm back. NFL rolls on. Week 7 is here. That means we've got plays, we've got breakdowns, we've got survivor picks. I'm here to look at the slate, talk about a few teams. If you're in a pool, if you're still alive, you're playing for like millions of dollars. If you're in a second chance pool, a third chance pool, you're in the office pool. Who do we take? Who do we dodge? It only gets difficult with each passing week. I want to welcome you to the channel. All things betting, from picks to breakdowns to tools, everything you want for betting, we have here at Odd Shopper. If you like what you see, you enjoy this type of content, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It takes 2 seconds, and then you don't miss out on any content. Let's just dive into the matchups. Again, we've got some teams on buys. We've got teams in London. We're going to talk about 3 different plays. I always sort them in these categories, and then I say, there's no real categories. You've got maybe the obvious pick, and against the green pick, and then who I would go with for Survivor. Here we go, bringing up the odds board. So let's start with what I think is the obvious choice. It's basically correlated to the odds. You've got the Buffalo Bills minus 450 ish against Tennessee. Tennessee is a mess. The quarterback situation has not worked out. I think that's pretty clear to say. When you look at them, they're just not doing much of anything. Calvin Ridley went over. He was not happy about that. Hopkins not really doing much. Tony Pollard's been a kind of a bright spot, but it's really hard to rely on just him when you have to hit the road and take on a Buffalo team that's playing good football. Hard fought win against the Jets. Josh Allen has just been MVP caliber. It's not just that he makes his absurd plays, he's taking care of the football. And if you start giving him that, or he starts not giving opposing defenses those takeaways, they become even more potent. Obviously, we'll see what Amari does to that offense. We'll see if Cook is back. They've got so many weapons, though. Kincaid and Coleman. The backup running backs looked fantastic. They can put heat on Tennessee's anemic offense. I don't need to sell you on this. This is pretty simple. If you are looking for the most obvious choice, you go to the money line and you look for the biggest favorite. And it's no surprise that that's Buffalo at home against Tennessee. So chalk them up as a very obvious survivor choice for week 7. Now, we got to find 2 more. I do always mention, though, with Survivor, it's a little different from betting. You're not saying, someone like Buffalo, they might not be a bet. Maybe they are, though. That's the thing. Maybe you want to lay north of 7, I don't even know what the spread is. Let's check it out in real time here. I'll just go to the point spread just to make my point. When you look at these teams, yeah, minus 8.5, minus 9.5, that's a totally different situation. If you do happen to bet the games, though, and you have not checked out, you see it on the top, it says tails. It's a fantastic marketplace where you can find all sorts of content creators like me giving you more access. So if you want to be able to talk through Survivor in real time as we get closer to Sunday, if you kind of want to know, hey, who are you on? What are you betting? Maybe some NFL, maybe some college football. It's all there for you. I have my package. It's on the screen right here. I wanted to make it very accessible to everyone. So you see the price points, you see the code. The link is below. I just say to everyone, if you're serious about trying to find a community of really good people, we're working together to beat the books, I believe it's this one. So come on in and check out for yourself. Again, you get right into the app, drop in plays. It syncs right into the Discord right here. All these different channels, from the bets to the picks to the breakdowns, all really, really fun stuff. I'll see you guys in there. Now, let's get a little risky. And it doesn't get riskier than backing this team. I would know, because I do it all the time in the betting markets, to varying degrees of, honestly, failure. Try to get rid of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, you may have been able to do that a couple weeks ago when they mercifully won a game, but if you haven't, this is as good a time as ever to get rid of them. Now, I want to start out by saying this is why this is risky. The Jags may have quit. Their coach may be on the way out. The team teetered on giving up, it seemed like, last week in London. They stay there and they welcome at least a better opponent, because the Patriots they were supposed to be bad, and they are bad. And Drake May regime is beginning, and he doesn't have a lot to work with. Brissett doesn't have a lot to work with. There's a couple of teams where I'm talking about it, and it just doesn't even matter who the quarterback is for these teams, because they just simply don't have what's ready. Now, Drake May might be good, and we'll see what he's got. But this New England offense can't score. They're averaging under 2 touchdowns a game, 13.8 points per game. That's 31st in the league. You look at Jacksonville, they're not that much better. Talent-wise, though, they're worlds better. They still should have a lot. I know Lawrence has not panned out like I think a lot of people expected, but he's got every weapon imaginable on the outside. ETN has struggled, but Bigsby has looked good. The defense, they just have to stop self-destructing. The miscues, the penalties, the turnovers, the giveaways, the missed field goals, all that type of stuff you can't have. Fortunately for them, they are welcoming in the softest opponent that kind of gives you a lot more runway to not be as crisp. So it is the now or never situation. But again, if you are playing in survivor pools, maybe you're in a second chance pool or a third chance pool where we're not deep in the season. You started in week 4, week 5. You need to plan ahead a little bit. And getting rid of Jacksonville is a good thing because I don't really trust them in any spot. I don't even really trust them here. You see the money line is minus 230, minus 250. This is no Buffalo Bills situation, but the payoff is probably nicer. If you could get rid of Jacksonville and not have to think about them, and they are familiar with London, obviously, I don't really worry about that. I'll call for the Jags to get this done, and I do think that they are an aggressive but really playable survivor pick. So we've talked about the Bills. We've talked about the Jaguars. We got one more for you. Basically, what I like to do, the meeting of the minds. Who would I go with ultimately? And you see on the screen, regardless if you're betting or whatnot, when there are promos and bonuses out there, you need to be aware of them, and then you decide if it fits what you're trying to do. If you're trying to get some bonus bets, $200 in bonus bets, same day boosts, things like that to help the bankroll, Bet365 leading the way right now. 5 into 200. So what do you have to do? The link is below. If you're in a state where they have them, unfortunately, they're not in every state, including mine, which is very frustrating because I'd love to take advantage of this. If you deposit 10 and bet 5 on any game, win or lose, you get $200 in bonus bets. It's that simple. Not to mention, you have another book to shop the lines, get the best prices at. They've got some really cool promos going for these island games that I've seen. It's right there for you. It's simple. Link is below. 21 plus 18 in Kentucky. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. But just another good way to add to the bankroll. It's all the same game. It's all a numbers game. When you have extra opportunities via bonus bets, it goes a long way. Oh, man, here we go. All right, where would I go? Scrolling. Right here. The Rams. Yes, the one win Rams. These teams, man, it's about a balance of surviving because you have to survive, but not just going to teams like the Bills every single time. You can certainly do that, but I like the Rams at home against the Raiders. Now, both these teams have struggled. Let's start with the Rams, though. The Rams are 1-4. They're off a bye. That is good. Kupp may come back. That is good. Obviously, Kyron in that backfield, he can help. Stafford still has some weapons that have emerged. I don't love the defense, but I think it's manageable. I look at their schedule. Actually pretty formidable. They're 1-4. But let's go through what actually happened here. They lost by 6 points to open the year at Detroit. That aged really nicely. You lose by 31 in Arizona. Terrible. You beat the Niners. Fantastic. You lost by 5 points in Chicago. You lost by 6 points in Chicago, and you lost by 5 points to the Packers. Those are competitive games against pretty good teams. You look at the Raiders. The Raiders are 2-4. They are a mess. Devontae Adams, obviously, he's on the Jets now. They're playing quarterback roulette. Minshew got benched. O'Connell comes in. I don't really care. It's not going to help them. They just lost by 16 points to the Broncos. Not great. 19 points at home to the Steelers. Not great. The underlying metrics are even worse. They're 27th in points per game. They're 27th in points allowed per game. They can't run the ball. They throw at an extreme pass rate, probably because they're always trailing. Now they have no semblance of quarterback, and they just lost Devontae Adams. Not that he was playing, but it's not good. Brock Bowers is good. They've got some pieces that are good. Crosby's very good. The team is in turmoil. I think that the Raiders are kind of in a tailspin here, and I want to jump on this before it gets worse and worse and worse. I think people are going to start to short them a lot on the road, off a team that's been resting with a bye week, a nice bye week for them. When you're 1-4, you need to refocus quickly or the season could be lost. I think the Rams are actually a middling team. I don't think they're a team that's going to win 4 games. I think they'll be very competitive, and they've kind of showed that in some of these losses. 3 losses inside a touchdown against good opponents, and they beat San Francisco. Give me the Rams to survive and advance. You're talking about a line north of minus 300. We got a lot of room there to get it done. They can and should do this for us. There we have it. We got the Bills, we got the Jaguars, and we've got the Los Angeles Rams, who I think is the best survivor pick on the board for week 7. But if you have any questions at all, Jazz Raz Bets on Twitter, and I'll see you guys in the Discord The links are below. Good luck. Enjoy. Talk to you soon.